Welcome back, guys, to another video. I'm the GZ guy. Today we're just going to do some maintenance to the vehicle. I got to do an oil change really quick. Also, I'm going to inspect my front left brake caliper and rotor. So I changed my brake pads about 2 weeks ago or so, and just the other day I was driving home from work and started hearing a weird vibration and feeling it. So I want to go ahead and pop that off. We're going to do a visual inspection. See if we can figure out what's going on. We'll check the rotor itself. We'll check the caliper. We'll see if maybe... I kind of feel like the piston in the caliper is not releasing all the way. So we'll get that torn apart and we'll take a look at it and we'll see what we can find out. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. Alright, guys, so we got the wheel off. As you can see, the caliper and rotor is exposed here. So before I pulled the wheel off, I turned the wheel and I can definitely tell it's turning hard, and that the brake is rubbing on the rotor. So we're going to continue to do a quick visual on this. We're going to get that popped off, see if we can figure out what the problem is. Maybe I seated the brake pads wrong. But like I said, I think that this caliper, the piston is sticking in it. So we'll see if we can get that figured out and cleaned up. If so, we'll go ahead and put that in the next part. Alright, guys, so I apologize. I didn't mention, I want to kind of obviously be able to help you guys out in case you need to do this. So these are aftermarket calipers on here. So the back two bolts that come through are 14s, so you'll either need a wrench or a socket to break those loose. So back to what we were doing. All right, guys, so you can see I've got the caliper off. On the back side that holds on your brake line, it is a 12. I just threw a bucket up there sitting on the back side of the shoe for the caliper and my control arm for that to drain into. So we're going to pop over here really quick. Here is the other portion of the caliper itself. These are the issue, the two pistons. So basically around the boot, the seal, they can get dirt and stuff in them. So what we're going to do is use compressed air. We got the air compressor set up. Come in the back, use this. Be extremely careful when you do this. They are extremely violent when they come out and can go flying. Do not have your hand in between here. I'm going to be using an old shot or a wash mitt to place it in there and put a C-clamp on the other side so I can control which one pops out. Clean one bank, reverse the process, clamp will go on the other side. This will help it not be so violent when it comes out. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. All right, guys, so I've been working on it for a minute. I didn't have to actually take the pistons all the way out on this this specific caliper. So I have one of the old ones here just to kind of show you. Like I said, what you do is right here in the back where the fitting is, you can use compressed air to basically, see if I can do this while holding the camera, sorry. You'll see the piston come out. So what you would do if you needed to take it all the way out, you do that with the method, like I said, use something in the front so when they come out, because they're super violent, so it doesn't fly anywhere, do not have your hand in between. I was able to clean it. What I did was able to shoot brake cleaner in through the back of the fitting and just under the seal, work it back and forth a few times. This left side was my problem child, if you will. So I clamped the right-hand side here after cleaning it. Super easy. This one I've actually got back now to where it takes no force. So in theory, I should be able to put it back on the car and not have any dragger issues. If it continues, the next step would be to put a stock caliper back on it, or time for another new brake kit. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything finished up here, cleaned up. We'll get it back on the car and go from there. I will need to bleed the brake system because, as you can see, I got a mess going. I apologize, but I went ahead and dropped that down because it was leaking. The canister spilt over, but we'll have to get this brake rebled and make sure we don't have any air in the system. So we'll get everything put back together here and I'll catch up with you. All right, guys, so I've got everything cleaned up, redone. I went ahead and put some brake fluid in to preload the brake. It'll make it a little easier when it comes time to re-adding fluid and bleeding it and getting all the air out of the system. So the next step will be get it back on the car, the brake fitting back on. This is just a cap for like a vacuum hose or whatever. I just used it to help seal that up. So when I tilt this back over to put it on the car, I won't make as big of a mess and just make it a little bit easier. So we'll get going with that. I'll be back in a sec. All right, guys, so we got the caliper back on. This is the bleeder right here. I've taken the bleeder cap off. When you first put your caliper back on, it's going to wiggle. Your pistons aren't compressed in there. So we're going to get the system bled, and then we'll make sure that we have free flowing rotor, yeah, I think I've slightly warped it when I listened to it, so it'll be time for some new rotors here shortly. But let's get on to that next step and I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so as you can see, we got everything back together. I still got to put the bleeder cap back on. My dad was nice enough to come out and help me through this process and also get the brakes bled. So a little backstory of where I've learned a lot of my stuff. My dad was a mechanic for over 30 years. Used to work for GM back in the day, and then heavy machinery and so on. So I'm very blessed and lucky and thankful to have such a kind father to pass on the trade to me. So we'll get this all tightened back up, wheel back on, and we'll go for a ride and see if this has resolved our issue, and then it will be on to the oil change. Alright guys, so there you have it. We fixed the brake today, we got the oil changed, car's running, no leaks, no problems. We're going to go out and do a quick drive and make sure everything's copacetic, and I'll follow up with you guys on that before I say goodbye on this video. So far, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I just want you to know I appreciate each and every one of you checking in. I'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so there you have it. I went for a quick test drive up and down the road. I got up to speed. The issue seems to have been rendered and fixed, so that is awesome. That will save me some money in the long run, not having to worry about buying a new brake kit or caliper, so on and so forth. I am going to put new rotors on probably, I'm thinking, here shortly. They've been on there for a minute. It's just time to, you know, freshen everything up. But as you can see, the car's sitting here behind me. I'm going to go ahead and give it a quick wash job. Got some road grime and whatnot on it, even though it's supposed to rain, just to give her a bath, make her happy after she went through some surgery today. Thanks again, guys, so much for checking in. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm having a great time doing this and going on this journey with everybody. So once again, I'm the GZ guy. Remember, guys, be kind to each other. Have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.